There's an endangered species right there.
It's the law of occupation.
President Trump has been telling the New York Times that the United States might be running Venezuela for years, raising questions about a military occupation. Right now, the country is kind of in a weird twilight zone where it's not really militarily occupied, but it's not really sovereign anymore. What does the law say? Because yes, there is such a thing as the law of occupation, and this is what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the show where I delve into the madness of the international news cycle, talk about whatever is left of international law, and try not to lose my sanity in the process. You need to have 4 criteria that are met to have a military occupation. The first one is the presence of foreign forces in the country. It seems obvious, but in our case, the special forces pretty much came in and out, grabbed Maduro, and came back to their ships. So no presence of foreign forces there. The second one is the absence of consent. Here, statements are rather contradictory. On the one hand, the United States is saying that the Venezuelan government is fully complying with their demands, but on the other hand, interim President Delcy Rodriguez is of course labeling the intervention as an act of aggression and has cracked down on protesters or people that might have celebrated the seizure of Maduro. The state of Venezuela did not consent to the military intervention on Saturday, that's for sure. The third one is that an occupation has to be temporary. Otherwise, it's much more an annexation than anything else. Experts in international law do not really agree on what constitutes the end of an occupation, so we're just not going to talk about it. Finally, the last one and the most important might be
effective control.
Effective control basically means that you have to control the occupied territory with your military. Most experts argue that this cannot be done with air forces or naval forces alone, and that you need to have ground forces on site. So what is going on in Venezuela right now? Well, I mean, we could describe it like a Latino Belarus, a vassalized state that is the puppet or under the control of a bigger power that dictates its foreign policy, its economy, and whatever is going on there. So while there is no military occupation of Venezuela right now, there might be one in the future. And if there is one, then we will have to keep all the criteria we have talked about in mind.